Gibson. I don't believe what I just...
Alrighty. It is Tuesday, July 25th, 2023. Welcome to Settled Stats.
8:38.
8:38 p.m. Pacific time. A little late today, no biggie, but it was a busy day. I think NFL veterans reported today to training camp. We'll do past 10 Super Bowls and MLB playoff picture. But first, we got to hit Saquon Barkley. We gotta talk Saquon because Saquon Barkley might be the worst negotiator in NFL history with the most backing we've ever seen for absolutely no reason. So what do you think about Saquon? So Saquon signed a 1 year, a 1 year, $11 million.
Yeah, $11 million. With like, I don't even think it was worth up to $1 million in incentives.
Yeah, it was. Well, it was kind of like an adjusted franchise tag, right?
Yeah, it was a franchise tag. Like next year's franchise tag will be worth more than that.
Right. Yeah, and so 10 million of that is guaranteed. It's fully guaranteed, including $2 million up front as a bonus. But he's got some incentives in there, I guess, right? Only $1 million in incentives. So I feel like the Giants really won this.
Yeah, he's not going to. Oh, absolutely. Like they gave him the same deal. Like $1 million to them is absolutely nothing.
Right. Yeah, I feel like they robbed him blind, and he had leverage. He had plenty of people backing him up. He had plenty of leverage to say, "Hey, I'm this good that you should pay me this amount of money." And it was reported that he wanted $19 million, or he turned down $19 million, but he'll sign for this 1 year, 11. I mean, they got exactly what they wanted. Let's try to see one more year out of Saquon Barkley and see if he's worth it. Then we might pay him that contract next year. Of course, it's going to be a little more money if he does well, but his track record says he's going to get hurt at some point.
And it is. It almost makes sense. Like I was looking at that thing. I'm not sure if you looked at it. I sent it to you earlier about Tyler Algier and Bijan Robinson.
Yeah.
Like the difference, how much more Bijan's getting paid than Tyler Algier. But besides that, Christian McCaffrey, Mr. It's criminal, Mr. It's criminal.
Mm-hmm.
He had 1,139 yards last year, and with his contract, he made $14,061 per yard. Every yard he ran, he clips over $14,000. Tyler Algier, obviously, he was a rookie, but he had 1,035 yards, so almost as many yards as CMC, and he got paid on average $964 per year. Hey.
Darn kids interrupting the sports
Ignore
show.
him.
I'm so sorry to our two fan.
Boy.
I apologize.
Right? So rude.
But yeah, so Saquon, I can't believe I thought he had some leverage. I was like, okay, he's gonna get overpaid because of the pressure that's on the Giants right now, or the Giants were gonna say, you're not that good, you're hurt all the time, get out of here. I thought it was gonna be one of the two. I did not see him signing. Aren't there players on the Giants that could sign a franchise tag or an adjusted franchise tag? I figure
Yeah.
there's other
Absolutely.
players you could use that on. I would assume you don't have to use it on your
More
guy.
on whoever. Like I get it. I get why the Giants did it. Like obviously to get him for a bargain this year, but now they got him for a bargain this
Right.
year
Yeah.
compared
big
to what
time.
he thinks he's worth. Like you're gonna tell me you make that big of a stink? Like you had the whole league behind you, all the running
Right.
backs making private messages and pretty much making a whole players union of running backs
Right.
to fight for $1 million. Makes no
Yeah.
sense.
It
I
doesn't
don't
make sense
know.
to me. It doesn't. It's just so odd, and it kind of proves the point that everybody's talking about the running back market and all this stuff that's going on, and who's going to pay who, and all these contracts, who's going to sign what. It's all just noise. It's all off-season noise. That's why it's so hard to listen to some of these things, because they could have talked a while ago and came to this somewhat agreement, like it's going to be a franchise tag that I'm going to sign. He could have known that well before anybody else, and we're all speculating over here. But I think they won. They won on that. I think they got kind of a free year. They're paying a little bit for him, but it's $1 million over the cap. His guaranteed money is the cap. So I don't understand. He had like
they're paying them.
Does he have a daughter, a son, or anything? Because that's probably who his manager is.
I thought you were gonna say, does he have a disability?
Does he have?
So like, maybe.
Yeah, does he have something? Is wrong with Saquon Barkley besides his legs?
I just need.
Yeah, besides his Todd Gurley legs. Something is wrong. That's not negotiating in my book, especially when you had all this noise about you. Come on, man. These other guys are getting paid out the ass, and you're getting paid nothing. Like it comes down to you're not worth that much money, so you weren't going to get paid that much money.
No.
That's what the situation was. That wasn't the situation like with
Risk.
What's that?
I said risk versus reward.
Yeah.
Like you got to outweigh that. Got to outweigh
Right.
it, and it's. I don't know. It's even. Like even if the risk is like equal to the reward, like it's not worth it. Not in the NFL. Not when you have to play 18 weeks. Like you just can't bank on that.
Yeah, especially when we know Saquon's going to play maybe 6 of those weeks. And
Maybe
yeah,
6, yeah.
I don't. Who knows? Who knows what Saquon's going to do? I just know he's a terrible negotiator, and the Giants won that one, and that's going to be Saquon Barkley. We'll see what he does, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see how that goes. I didn't hear any other big news as far as any trades or contracts go, but Saquon was the big one.
They what's his name? Trayvon Diggs.
Yeah, I saw Trayvon Diggs is going to hang around for a little bit.
Yeah, for a lot of money. Zach Martin has not reached a deal yet. Was not at camp.
Right, he didn't report today. I saw that.
No.
Which,
yeah, that's a bummer.
I mean, does he deserve it? Does he deserve more money? I think he does, because of what he's done, but also he's been around for a long time. He's had an awesome career.
Years has he been in the league?
This might be like his 12th year, right?
It's been a lot, I feel like, especially for a lineman.
Yeah, 10, 11, 12. I want to say it's somewhere around there. I feel like he's been around for a long time. Well before the Des Cauditt game, and that was a while back.
9
seasons? So this is number 10?
Yeah.
Dang, it feels longer.
It does. Yeah, that's... I mean, but still, for linemen, like, you got to start considering the fact that big dudes don't last forever. Like, I know they're built to work, but eventually they're going to start declining no matter what.
Yeah. And I think...
Like, because the league is just getting...
Right. I think that's why he might be deciding to do that, because he knows he's maybe not on his way out the door, but he's on his last he's on his last few years. He has to be, unless something crazy happens or he just stays crazy durable or something. Like him and Tyron Smith, they're the last two out of the bunch, out of that great line that Tony Romo had, and he's almost done, I think.
Yeah, I'm always curious to see, like, if, since they make contracts like super public information, these contract talks should be public. Like, you should see what, like, every step of the way. So Zach Martin offered the Cowboys this, vice versa. Like, Cowboys this offer,
Right?
like, it should be completely transparent.
That would be pretty wild because we'd get a lot of. I mean, there wouldn't be as much talk, that's for sure. There wouldn't be.
No.
People would actually be able to teach about the history of football and like other things on these shows instead of hitting these ridiculous topics that we could cover in 5 minutes at the beginning of a show and then don't talk about until something happens again. Like, they hit this stuff every single day, all day. And
it's a league where the players obviously are favored over owners and the teams. Like, look at Saquon. He throws the biggest fit. You think that they're being super unreasonable, but signs for $1 million more than what he would have gotten paid. Right. Like, how much of this is like blown out of proportion? Like, how much of this is coming from Saquon? But my thing is, Saquon himself came out and said, like, he was considering not even playing this year. Over $1 million.
Yeah. Yeah, and now it comes out that he signed this, and we're like, what was that about? what was that for, Saquon? Like, you held the leverage at the wrong time, and you made a big deal at the wrong time. Like, I feel like, what if he has an outstanding year this year? Then he's got something to stand on at the end of next year to get a bigger contract, which is great. But he can't be banking on that. He knows the truth. He knows he's injury prone. He knows this. Yep. He knows this in his little Saquon heart of hearts, that he is injury prone and he's worried about it because he's been playing safe ever since then. And what gets you hurt more than anything is playing it safe because you have an injury. So, yep. I mean, you can almost guarantee he's going to get hurt again. I don't want him to get hurt necessarily because it's good for – some people think like, oh, you just hate the Giants, which I do. I do hate the Giants. I want them to fail miserably. But for these teams, like, look at the division, the NFC East last year. How good, like, we had more, each team in our division had more wins than some divisions in football last year.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
I don't know.
They were the division to beat. So it's fun football to watch. It's fun for everybody when it's good. So it's not like we want these guys to fail. If we think you're a failure, we want you to fail and we want you out. But until then, like, I want you to do well. Saquon's just not going to. I just think he's going to get hurt.
I think his best days are behind him.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, he could shock me and have a mediocre season, but I think it's going to be much more than that. Like, he's not going to be the dude.
No, I don't think so either.
He might even crack, like, maybe number 10, like top rusher this year, maybe. But that's if he can stay healthy more than 3/3 of the season. You know, he's got to play.
Yeah, you got to play. He's got to play at least 13, 14, 15 games, somewhere in there, and stay healthy. It's not like he can, like, and I'm talking maybe sit out at the end of the year against, like, the Commanders or the Eagles or the Cowboys or something if you're winning the division. Like, you have to play the whole season, Saquon, especially if you want money at the end of the year.
Ultimately, the Jets are going to be the kings of New Jersey. Where
the skies run green.
Yeah.
Smells like bum piss.
And the birds.
That's why Shoei doesn't want to go to the Mets or the Giants because of that bum piss.
The bum piss. It's a pretty pungent smell.
That's a good time to go to what also smells like bum piss is the Philadelphia Eagles. We're going to go over the past 10 Super Bowls. Of course, starting with Super Bowl 57, the Chiefs and the Eagles. I think you might remember it. It was a pretty good one.
It's probably the freshest one on my mind,
For sure.
besides the only one that stays on.
Right. It does seem like the most current. It does seem that way. But so I've got the video going there, just the highlight videos, just to kind of refresh the memory. But this game was pretty good. This is probably not my favorite Super Bowl in the last 10, but this might be number 2, only because I feel like it was just offensive genius. Because like right at the beginning, Jalen Hurts with the fumble, and it was a pick six, or not a pick six, a scoop and score for 6.
Score, yeah.
That kind of ended. That kind of ended as soon as that happened. Like everybody, all the Chiefs fans are probably like, "This is it. Like this is gonna be, like we're gonna murder them." We just shut Jalen Hurts down, and then it just showed how poised Jalen Hurts is. Was the game ended 38-35? It was a closer game than some people think, but you wouldn't know it from that from that like 1 yard run, and then the fumble happened right after that.
Patrick Mahomes is just a different animal, and in the playoffs,
he's unbelievable. Yeah, it's nothing we've ever seen, that's for sure. Because I mean, they scored 7 in the first quarter, but that was the scoop and score, and then the Eagles put up 7 even with that scoop and score, and then they put up 17 the next quarter before halftime. It was 14-17 at halftime. So that scoop and score didn't even matter. The Chiefs could have scored on their first offensive possession, and the game would have been the same exact way instead of that scoop and score. And a lot of people like to blame it on that call at the end of the game on Juju, but I'm not even going to give it a lot of time of day, because we pick on the refs so hard, and when you watch a game that's pretty pure, and then they just randomly, here's a call just out of the blue because we haven't seen flags all day, it makes you feel like they affected the game. But this didn't give me that vibe. This was all Patrick Mahomes doing what he's doing. Yeah, he's making these refs make these. Everything's going so fast, the tempo that they're running, and they're doing crazy stuff. Like they on one random third down, they had like the split backs under center, like a Lombardi sweep for third down. Like that's what Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes does. Well, it's what Andy Reid does, but he can execute with Patrick Mahomes. He's just that good. These little shuffle passes and things, they do flashy things, and a lot of people feel like it's way over the top, and it's a little ring around the rosy thing they were doing, that kind of merry-go-round thing. That was just absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, I loved it. That's like a wink. That's like a wink, but I don't like shit like that. That's a little much. That's a little showboating before the end. And I would feel wrong doing it. I think that's why I don't like it.
Oh man, that's like I know I'm better than you, so like we can do this stuff. Like, no matter what we're gonna do.
Check this out. Right, that's exactly what it was too. And well, the crazy thing was so they've got the Eagles run like cover 3 and cover 6 mostly, and that's what they did in the Super Bowl, which you have to do what got you there. I get it, but that's all the Chiefs play against all year. So that I found that kind of bizarre.
Adjustment.
And if you look at the what's that?
The Eagles defense just felt they were better. I feel like
like
they knew they and they blame it on the turf or the field.
Right.
They said if it was a different field, we would have been better. Like it would have been way different. Well, come prepared.
Right. Yeah, I don't understand. And a lot of people say it's like some sort of conspiracy because the grass. So they call the grass, it's Bermuda grass, but it's like Tahoma 31 is the name of this grass, and it's the first time it was ever used was for this field. And so that makes people think like, oh, they never used it. That's why it was so slick. Like this has been a problem for a minute. Did you see Odell Beckham in that Super Bowl? Like, did you see it? Yeah, that was a Super Bowl right before the Rams and the Bengals, the turf monster. Like, it
Yeah.
doesn't matter what it's on. This is football. This happens whether the grass
Oh,
is brand new or it's got chunks all over it, like the one in Mexico they tried to make them play in. It doesn't. It doesn't matter.
they
This
said
is
nope.
football. It can affect you a little bit, but I don't give a shit. You know you're playing on this field. You've got hours to stand on it before the game. I need to go to my taller spikes instead of these turf shoes. Make adjustments. Make adjustments.
Yeah, and both teams are playing on it, so
Exactly.
you can't blame it on the field.
Right.
Yeah, the field might be shitty, but both teams are playing on it.
Exactly.
It's
It's like
totally
it's like what you teach kids about the cold. Like they're standing out there in baseball, playing baseball, and they're freezing cold because it's windy or something. And you're like, hey, like the other team is cold too. If you play like you're not cold, you're
like
gonna beat this team. Yeah, everybody feels this. The
yeah,
coaches are cold. The parents are cold. Like, yeah, yeah, exactly. Both teams are at a disadvantage if the field is slick. So therefore, some players are probably going to get hurt. Some players are definitely going to slip. The pass rush is going to be. It's going to be hard to get around the edge, like with speed. But I don't know. Just like you said, both teams have to deal with it. I could see if it's like a deflated football that I get to throw, but the other guy doesn't.
team has to deal with it.
Yeah, that's never been done. That would be crazy if something like that happened. But
Yeah, that'd be
this specific
that,
incident, like both of them dealt with it.
that scrub from the history book.
Right. It's kind of like playing in the sun. Like I got to play towards the sun. Cool, man. Next quarter they're going to be playing towards the sun. Like it's the same shit. The only real disadvantages you see in the NFL anymore, uh, people should get in the comments and tell us if there's more, because I'm sure there's more that we don't know about. But the biggest disadvantage I've ever seen is Miami's stadium design, because these day games and
The
afternoon
Dolphins.
games, the Dolphins are in the shade all day, and the opposing team is in the sun the entire day. They don't get any sun the way the stadium's designed. So that's one of the only
It's not
real
like Jerry.
disadvantages. Right, it's not like Jerry World. Everybody's got to look at the sun shining through that glass wall they put in there.
But Jerry loves it. Jerry doesn't look.
Yeah, Tony Romo said it didn't affect him. He said looking straight into it.
Yeah,
Yeah, fuck yeah, it did, you liar. Of course it did. It's got to. It's glaring sun right in your eyes. Come on, you're not Superman. Unbelievable. So so this Super Bowl, I was glad Patty Mahomes won, because that kind of solidifies my conversation for Patty Mahomes, because I do think he's kind of morphing into the best quarterback we've ever seen. So I do think the new GOAT's going to have to win 7 rings at least. But I feel like if Patty Mahomes gets
yeah,
5 or 6, it's going to be really, really hard, because his he's going to lead everything by then. So that's
yeah.
going to be a hard conversation to have, because then we're going to be looking at 7 Super Bowls less everything, 5 Super Bowls more of everything. Like, which one is more valuable? So
One that didn't cheat.
the one that didn't cheat in the Super Bowls, that's the one that'll be the GOAT for sure.
I think so. If it ever comes down to the two of them, I think it's going to be a pretty easy decision for myself, at least.
Yeah.
But, yeah,
Yeah, I think you can sum this. I think you can sum this Super Bowl up to Patrick Mahomes just being great, because the Eagles were great also, and the Chiefs. I mean,
yeah.
the Chiefs were almost perfect. They had there was 7 pressures on Patty Mahomes, but 0 sacks. Right? The Chiefs only had 8 possessions the whole game and scored 31, and those last 7 points came from that scoop and score. I don't really count. So the Eagles, I think, kind of messed up on a few different things, like just things you don't do, like with the defense as far as what coverage you're playing, and then like single coverage over like Travis Kelce in the red zone. Stuff like that, I think, is just like you're asking for a touchdown right now. So there was a few things they could have done smarter,
Yeah.
but real-time decisions with that coach they got, I think Sirianni, I think he's a little slow in the head. He's from Jersey, right? I think he's from Jersey.
Yeah, he's a little.
Yeah.
high-headed.
That's fucking game. That's fucking game. We're like, dude, your kicker just
His players
kicked
like.
a field goal.
I saw a video of Jalen Hurts calming him down. Like your players shouldn't be the one calming you down.
Right, like Sean
Like,
McVay,
it's not.
that little fouler that can't control
Hey.
him. I got a pullback guy. He pulls me back in the sidelines when I get too crazy. Cool, man. You're an adult.
Walking
You're
too far.
you're an adult man also. You can't have both, buddy. You can't.
So, how many Super Bowls do you think Andy Reid will have to have? How many rings before he's the GOAT?
Oh, so he's got 3, right? So I don't know because Belichick cheated, and he's the only one really above him, right?
Yeah.
Because
So Andy Reid won 3 Super Bowls, one as an assistant coach. He was an assistant head. He was a quarterback / assistant head coach with the Packers in Super Bowl 31, and obviously 2 as the Chiefs.
right.
But when this debate is so different, like compared to Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, I feel like Patrick Mahomes could go anywhere with any coach and just do amazing. And
Yeah.
Obviously Tom Brady did too, but it was one season and then fizzled out without a coach. Arians stepped down, and then it wasn't trash by any means, but nowhere the caliber player that he was.
Are you talking about Bruce Arians not being trash?
No, Tom Brady. I was saying he wasn't trash.
Oh,
but
okay.
As soon as Bruce Arians stepped down, like I still feel like I don't think it was Belichick over Tom Brady, but I still think he needs a good football-minded coach to succeed.
Right. And Bruce Arians is kind of, I mean, on the podium when they're talking at the end of the game, holding the Lombardi, passing the trophy around and shit, he basically says like, I didn't do anything. It was all these guys. And I mean, that's kind of weird for me anyway. Like, I don't need to pay you next year. Like, why did I pay you for if you didn't need to be there if it was all Tom Brady? Because I get it. Like, the whole game plan is probably Tom Brady, but like he's still, even though he's Tom Brady, he still needs somebody. Like the coach, like they made it sound like the coach was worthless.
Pretty crazy. And I don't know if that was just like respect towards Tom Brady saying something like that, just being super modest.
I think he was. I mean, because I think that's how he is, but it's like super nice and modest, but it's and humble, but it's like way over the top. It's like he stepped down for a black man to take his job. Which, cool,
Yeah.
man, that's great, but wow, like you hold yourself that high, like the white man has to step down to make room for this black man to get, because he wouldn't get over me. There's no way he could outcoach me, the white man. I have to step down for him to come in here. I didn't like that shit. That spoke a lot to how he is.
Yeah, it's just pretty crazy. And I think he just stepped in. It wasn't a better coach, that's for sure.
No. He was just a guy that just let his team do what they were doing. But Bruce Arians, we'll talk more when we hit that one, but the next Super Bowl is 56. The Rams and Bengals. I didn't specifically like this one, but I didn't hate it either. It's definitely a forgetful game. Yeah.
Yeah. SoFi.
Yep, SoFi Stadium with a 2 million pound screen over their heads just hanging there.
The first team to win the Super Bowl in their home stadium as an away team.
Pretty impressive. Yeah, the Rams, I was really surprised the Rams were in this Super Bowl. And I really was surprised when the Bengals didn't win it, because I really thought the Bengals were just too good to be messed with. And then Aaron Donald.
Yeah, they're playoff scary.
Yeah, they're just. I mean, Aaron Donald is just unbelievable. The guy is just. He's everywhere. But Cooper Kupp also. I mean, Cooper Kupp kind of deserved the MVP and to win that year based off of just what he did. But a lot of people give the credit to Matt Stafford, which I give him some credit too, because he looked good the whole year. He was pretty good, but he really showed who he was the year after. So that speaks more to what Cooper Kupp and the defense did than to Matt Stafford to me. This is exactly why you go back and you revisit these older Super Bowls, because you notice things like that, because he was the hero. Matt Stafford was the hero, right? And then you're like, well, he was an MVP. And they only scored 23 points, and how many touchdowns?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, 3 field goals, or something like that.
2, I think. Yeah.
But so, I don't know. He was definitely not the hero, and it's definitely hard to play against the Bengals, and it's a Super Bowl. I totally get it. But no, it was Cooper Kupp and that defense to me. I think Aaron Donald, the last play of the game, actually, Joe Burrow still had a chance, and Aaron Donald got to him, and it was over. That's how I remember it ending.
Just kind of watching it back, there's been a lot of technical first for the Bengals. Joey Burrow, like, yeah, Cooper Kupp's pretty good for someone that's not going to finish it. Feel like.
Right. Your audio's cutting out pretty bad. How's your connection?
Connection's good.
Oh, weird. It might be me then. Oh well. Oh yeah, Inglewood. That's right. What am I thinking? That was the Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, Eminem, Kendrick, and 50 Cent doing his lip sync stuff.
Yeah, right. That could have been the best halftime show ever.
It could have been so good.
Like,
yeah, they jacked it up. I wasn't happy with it, and they jacked it up just because it's just not that anymore. It's just not. Snoop Dogg smoking in front of the entire world on a Super Bowl stage was the most impressive thing about the whole night.
Yeah, like the game.
The game, what?
I said the game included Snoop Dogg on stage was.
Right. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, so I'm looking at this. It says Matt Stafford, 26 for 40, 283 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. And, let me see. Cooper Kupp, 8 receptions, 92, 2 touchdowns. So he got both of those touchdowns. But Matt Stafford gave another touchdown to somebody, right? Unless it was the defense. Yeah, this was definitely a forgettable Super Bowl because I'm remembering stuff right now that I didn't remember before.
Yeah, Trick played.
T. Higgins. So there was 4. So there was, let me see. T. Higgins had 2.
Joe Mixon threw a touchdown pass.
Yeah. Yeah, he did. He had one attempt. It was like right in the red zone, super close.
Yeah. Yep.
That's that Andy Reid shit. But either way, kind of a defensive game for me. There, some people might call one of these next Super Bowls we're going to talk about like a defensive Super Bowl, but I really don't think we've ever seen a good defensive Super Bowl. And I feel like you can go back
No, there's
every single one of them. I don't think there's ever been one.
no. There's been good defensive plays,
Right.
amazing defensive plays,
Yeah.
like saving the like changing the whole game. Oh no, Odell.
Odell Beckham. No. I love it.
I just remembered that he blew me out in the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Not even catching a ball. He was just running around. Just running like a deep in route or something, and it took him out.
Another thing I just realized that was super cool that gave me the chills was Jesse Bates, the safety, had a pick in the Super Bowl against a whole Stafford, and now he's an Atlanta Falcon.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, oh yeah.
What about Awuzie? Awuzie was on that team. He got
Cheeto
lucky.
Bay's the truth.
Yeah, he rode along with them for the free ride to the bowl.
Dude, okay, so this is something interesting that I saw. One, Jalen Ramsey getting torn up right out of the
dusted.
But I thought to myself, why is Joe Burrow taking a knee at halftime? There's still time on the clock, like it's a Super Bowl. You're gonna take a knee to go in halftime while losing, and then your first possession, you throw a Hail Mary out of halftime and score.
That's pretty amazing. I never noticed that before.
Like makes me question like some of the coaches' calls.
Exactly.
Like, how are you not gonna try to? It's the Super Bowl. It's 3 seconds left on halftime. Like, could you imagine scoring right before halftime? The momentum change that would have been.
Right. Yeah, maybe if you're the Bengals, you do that like, I don't know, week 3 against the Buccaneers or something, whatever, like whatever random NFC team they get to play. Like, that's when you do that. Like, I'm not going to get anybody hurt. Let's not do anything stupid. But in the Super Bowl, even if you're winning, there's a chance you're going to lose the game. It's a Super Bowl. Like, you got to take everything. Any kind of dead clock, dead time that you just kind of threw away and just didn't want or didn't need at the time, you're going to want or need later. It always comes back. And who won that Super Bowl? Like, if he would have had a few seconds left, right? I feel like Joe Burrow could have been a Super Bowl champ. So maybe a Hail Mary and a touchdown wins the game. Maybe a Hail Mary, get out of bounds, 1 second left, kick the ball, and you're tied by the end of this.
Yeah. Like try. Especially that early in the game. Like, you throw a Hail Mary going into halftime and it's incomplete, or even if it's intercepted in the end zone.
Right. Who cares?
Like, who cares?
Time's over. Who cares? I got 3 interceptions this game, and one of them didn't matter. Awesome. Yeah, nobody cares.
But I have a Super Bowl trophy.
Yeah, those are the chances I feel
like
the
you
Rams
have
to take. But that's funny you bring up with the coaches, because there's plenty of coaches. There's plenty of times that, and I know people say we're armchair quarterbacks or armchair coaches or whatever. But
yeah,
I do feel like when I'm watching these games, and we're going to do some live games. We're going to have some live shows during live games, just so we can see this happen in real time. But I know for a fact I could have won games or at least changed the outcome with my decision making over watching some of these coaches. And I've seen coaches make some crazy, terrible decisions, not only in Super Bowls, but even more so like in playoff games. You see it all the time because you try to be too conservative. It's like playing too safe and not trying to get hurt. You're going to get hurt. It's the same thing. You're going to get burnt if you try to play it safe.
My big thing is I can't stand the amount of NFL coaches that have no game management.
Right.
Like,
Are you talking about Mike
I
McCarthy?
can't think of the amount of time. What's
Are
that?
you talking about Mike McCarthy?
Mike McCarthy, everyone.
Yeah, he just found out there was a clock
Every
on the wall. He's like, we have a clock we're allowed to look at during the game. He just found that out. He must have. Yeah, because there's been times you see that
like what
happen and you're like, what were you thinking? I can't remember what game.
he's like
Huh?
I was just gonna say he looks up and sees, oh, it's 10:42.
yeah,
It's like, oh, why is the clock going back? I thought it
this,
was 1 o'clock.
this is weird. This is crazy. Didn't we start at 1? Yeah, that's how I feel sometimes with some of his decisions because you're a professional, you're a head coach in the National Football League. That just shows you how many there are that shouldn't be there. That I mean, that's why the turnover rate is so fast. Everybody's so scared because they know some of these coaches that aren't
Yeah.
in fear for their jobs, like Mike Tomlin or like that twin over there in Baltimore. There's some really good coaches that aren't in fear of their job because they've got fucking control. Like you drop them in a Super Bowl tomorrow, their team's probably going to do pretty well because of their coach management. Because everybody says, well, it's on the field. It's on the field. Like, it's got to be the players. Of course it's got to be the players. But if, like, these are basically children, some of these people. That's what they don't, that's what some people don't understand is they're out of high school, into college, into the NFL. Like, these are babies playing in the NFL. They have to be told to hydrate. They have to be told to stretch and like to eat right and remember your cleats. They have to remember things that like pee-wee football players have to remember because they're kids, they're players, they're only thinking play football. So if you don't have game management, it's the exact reason why we saw Julio Jones on the sideline doing the bite, getting an IV every single game. It's like, did you drink water last night, Julio? No, because you weren't told to.
Yeah.
Because you're a pro and you should know that already.
Sorry, you grown man. I forgot to tell you to drink
Right.
water.
Yeah. Pretty crazy. Yeah, this Super Bowl, we could move on to the next one because that one, yeah, that wasn't a great one. I definitely remember Aaron Donald making some play. I feel like Aaron Donald was the dude. He should have been the MVP. But
I think I might have fallen asleep. Well, to be honest, it was pretty boring.
did you? I think that was the Rams and Patriots one you fell asleep on.
Oh, was it? I remember one of those ones.
I know you didn't fall asleep during.
I wish I would have fallen asleep.
I know you didn't fall asleep during this one. The old Kansas City Chiefs and
Buccaneers.
Buccaneers Super Bowl 55. This was the Tom Brady year. This was the year everybody said, oh, wow, it's not Belichick. It really is Tom Brady.
Yep. He was out the roof.
Yeah, oh, for sure. He was full on. I feel like he was like a man possessed almost because Skip Bayless likes to talk about Tom Brady being like Psycho Tom during games, and he just goes Psycho Tom, and he just kills it, and like you're gonna lose every time in this. But I see it as just he sees the game way slower than other people, and he has awesome game management skills that he learned from bad decisions Belichick made, not necessarily good decisions, but I feel like look at all the playoff games and all the Super Bowls and shit they got to play in. He's seen every call everywhere, and he just sees it happen before it happens, and he was just bred like that. He just lasted, and he had a lot of opportunities to play in the playoffs and fuck up and lose a bunch of games, but he won the most ever, and I think it's because of that. It's all game management, because we're going to talk about Super Bowl 51. I'm sorry to mention that, but you want to talk about managing the clock? Like, the second half of the game, the Falcons should have been all about let's eat the shit out of this clock, and they never did it once.
Yeah,
So
yeah, and he never panicked. They never rushed.
right.
Never. They stayed calm, and we'll talk about it when the time comes.
Starting.
I've yet to.
Yeah, this. Oh, there's Gronk. Gronk's out there killing it. The ex-GOAT tight end. But this game kind of surprised me, mainly because Patrick Mahomes didn't get in the end zone. That was really surprising to me.
Yeah, definitely.
And he was just, I mean,
I think
was battered. That defense was no joke that year.
They had him run. Right, Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah. Well,
Like
that's when he
every
laid
single
out like shortstop style and threw the ball like almost laying down, right? Or was that the San Francisco game? That might have been the San Francisco Kansas City one.
I think you're thinking of Marcus Mariota. He was laying on his back and threw it.
Oh, yeah, when he pulled the old Mahalo. Let me throw it from my back. Yeah, that was impressive.
They used to call him Patrick.
Patrick Mahalo. Who's that? Oh, is that Playoff Lenny? Playoff Lenny's got a touchdown.
I thought you were going to say Playoff Lenny.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to this team because this team wasn't great, and they haven't been great since then, which the year that they had tells me that, holy shit, this brand new team is really good. How did they leave? Didn't they all come back to, quote-unquote, run it back? I thought that was the plan. And they were awful that next year. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I don't know what changed. I think it was the coach.
Yeah, it definitely could be. Because I know...
That was like the big difference.
Tom Brady could have rolled away like Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning had that embarrassment Super Bowl, and then he had the Super Bowl that he won right after that. And Tom Brady kind of same thing, had that Super Bowl that he won with the Bucks, and then he had a terrible year after, didn't even go. Like, you should have rode away like Peyton Manning. He did it the right way.
Yeah. Travis Kelce's amazing. But every time, every single snap almost, it seems like Patrick Mahomes is running around. They had him on his feet all night, every single snap.
Yeah. Non-stop.
Yeah, fourth and 9, he tried his little layout throw.
Yeah, their I mean...
Yeah, I forgot.
Devin White... Devin White, Murphy Bunting, like, who else? Pierre Paul, Dominican Sue they had Shaquille Barrett, they had everybody. They had such a good team. And I was really concerned with the Buccaneers when they went to and won the Super Bowl that year because I was like, shit, they're going to be a problem for a minute. Because, I mean, you look at Mike Evans, they had Antonio Brown, and...
Brady's going to be...
Brady's going to play till he's 58. Like, this is not good. This is the perfect situation. But we didn't notice that behind closed doors, his life was crumbling, and he was rushed out the door quick. He left early, in my opinion. And people probably think that's crazy that because Tom Brady's been around forever, but Tom Brady's going to be able to throw the football really well for a few more years, even now. He walked away early, in my opinion, because of all that.
And I think most of that was spite. Like, I think that was like a big FU to his ex. Like, that was her big thing. Like, she wanted him to retire.
Yeah. And
he wouldn't do it. And then the year after, the season after, he's like, done.
Yeah, pretty wild. Like,
I don't know.
He'll make everybody switch from plastic to paper straws because his wife wants the world to change, but he won't quit football for her. I don't know why she wanted him to quit in the first place. Like, look how fucking good he is all the time, and he just won a Super Bowl, and you want this man to quit? If he was focused, I
Clearly
bet
not a football.
they could have maybe not ran it back, but I feel like they could have done a lot better than they did if he was in a better situation.
Nobody back. They go back, but they don't run it back.
Mm. So funny. You would have thought Travis Kelce in this game would have had a touchdown since he went over 130 yards. You would have thought he would have had a touchdown to go with it because Tyreek Hill had 70 also, and Edwards-Helaire had 20 rushing or 20 passing yards. You would have thought they would have gotten the end zone. That still blows me away they didn't get in the end zone. It was 3 field goals and the game was over.
If Falcons came out that flat against the Patriots that season, I would have been like, okay, like it's an off game.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't come prepared. But to start that game exactly how you did all season, like I said, we'll talk about that when we get there. That was the Super Cup one MVP that Super Bowl.
Which one?
Or no. I typed in 50.
Oh, you're talking about the Patriots Rams?
The Super Bowl 55.
Julian Edelman.
Tom Brady.
Was it Tom?
Oh no. This that we're on. Yeah, Tom Brady.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. Four. So Super Bowl 54.
That wasn't a bad one, right? That was when I started kind of feeling like he could be the GOAT.
Yeah.
I kind of felt like I knew the Niners were going to lose this game because of Jimmy G.
I was going to say because you felt like they didn't belong there.
I felt like they had no business being there. They definitely did a lot better than people probably thought, but yeah, because what was the
thing I remember about that, the Demi Lovato halftime.
Was it awesome?
It was pretty sweet. I bought tickets to it. I went for the Super Bowl halftime show and I left.
Just for the Super Bowl halftime. Just for the show because they're that good. I mean, when Fergie was singing at the halftime that one time, do you remember that one? We're gonna have.
I remember that. Yeah,
she was singing "Sweet Child of Mine" with Slash playing the guitar. It was one of the worst things you'll ever hear in your. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Exactly that noise that just came out of your face. That's what that was. It was the worst thing you've ever heard. We'll have to do a Super Bowl halftime show because there's so many good ones. But there's some, oh my Lord, awful ones.
Like, if you get Creed to come to another Super Bowl, I don't care who's playing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Creed could rock the whole fucking house.
Yeah.
Wide open. So this game... This game ended 31-20. I don't remember a lot of this game, honestly. I remember they had like Mostert and like I remember a little bit of the team, but Patty Mahomes again.
Look, yeah, just making a lot of like close, tight throws, like throws you probably shouldn't be making.
Yeah.
but they always somehow find the target.
Mhm.
Like even when the receivers drop them, they're usually always on target. Was this Deebo Samuel's rookie year?
I believe so. Yeah, I'm not positive, but his when was Debo drafted? 19?
2019, yeah.
Yeah, because this Super Bowl was 2019 season, 2020 Super Bowl, so that would have been his first season. Yeah, that would have been his rookie year.
Dang. And I totally spaced that the 49ers were in the Super Bowl that recently.
Yeah, yeah. When you think 49ers being in the Super Bowl, you think Ray Lewis's last game. That's how I remember it. And then
Yeah,
I'm like, oh shit, that's right. They did play the Chiefs.
like the Chiefs. Yeah,
Yeah, this was a strange
they're
year
that.
for the NFC because I think the 49ers were like the front runners most of the year, most of the important part of the year, anyways. Because I think Dak Prescott went off. Like, yeah, he was having like an MVP run, and then he snapped something. Wasn't that the year?
Did something break on his leg? I
Something
mean, his leg
happened.
break.
Yeah, something happened, and then the next day, the Sleep Number commercials weren't showing his bottom half anymore. But so Patrick Mahomes threw almost 300 yards. He had 2 picks, I think. 2 picks, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, yeah. He threw one to Fred Warner, but like the 49ers defense has been pretty good for years.
Yeah, they always seem to have something going for them. I don't know. I don't know what it is because
I don't get how
I don't
Jimmy,
think it's all. I don't think it's all Nick Bosa. I don't think it was Richard Sherman that year. Who else was on that team? Jimmy Ward. They had a pretty good group of dudes, but
seeing Patrick Mahomes in this Super Bowl compared to the last one we just watched, like his comfort in the pocket was 9-day difference. Like he was able to set up and throw. Like there's a couple times he had to step up, but the last game he was running the whole game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So the second pick for Mahomes was on a tipped ball.
Okay. Yeah. That sounds familiar then. Did they just show that? I didn't see that.
No, ours is. It looks all blurry, so I brought it up on my laptop, so I'm kind of watching it. We're been staying actually pretty close the whole time.
Nice.
It's funny seeing Isaiah Pacheco wearing the number 10 this season,
Yeah.
and he looks almost identical to Tyreek Hill.
He does.
Like they used him the same way. I feel like.
Yeah, and he was kind of like just a rando. He was a nobody. Like the first thing I noticed about Pacheco was, holy shit, that guy stands up fast. Like he is the fastest recoverer of a tackle I've ever seen ever. It's like he's almost like a robot. Like he pops right up, and he's already facing the huddle, and he's already walking towards the huddle.
Yeah.
What was that last thing?
I said he's like a Weebles Wobbles.
Yeah, he is.
He's like won't pop right back.
Yeah, that's exactly how he does it. Yeah, he's quick. I think he's going to be a whole lot better this year too, because they don't have that. There's no running back issue with Pacheco. Like that's your guy.
Yeah. If the 49ers had won this game, Jimmy Garoppolo would have a Super Bowl MVP, I feel like.
Yeah, he definitely could. I mean, look at the stats. Like
Pretty
there wasn't
impressed.
much running. There wasn't. It was a lot of it was passing.
Yep. Like right here, there's a minute and 25 left, and he was like very few and complete. 20 for 29, almost 220 yards.
That's pretty clean. Any picks? Did he throw any picks?
One, yeah, one pick, one touchdown. Two picks. They picked him off right at the end of the game to seal it on a really bad throw. How do you think he's going to do as a Raider, Jimmy Garoppolo?
Honestly, I I don't know. I don't think he's. I think him and Derek Carr are like the same level quarterback.
They're pretty close.
I don't think it's much of an upgrade. The only thing I feel like would be an upgrade is just his rugged good looks over Derek Carr's, and he's a little more accurate.
Jimmy G doesn't, but Derek Carr needs makeup.
Yeah, Derek Carr looks like he was in My Chemical Romance, and Jimmy G looks like he's in a goddamn Vogue magazine. Men's Health on the cover, all 18 packing it. That's Garoppolo. Derek Carr, he's just an ugly little bastard that runs around with like chains hanging off his black pants with spiky hair and just mean mugs people around town, breaks windows. That's Derek Carr.
Blows up toys in his backyard, lives next door to Andy.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, that's the dude. Has a zero shirt on all the time. Yep. No parents, lives by himself and his little sister and his dog. Yeah, they put him in a home actually after all that happened. Diagnosed
They
with
ended up in
insanity.
child.
Yeah, CPS came and got Sid. Took him home.
They would have never. Toy Story 1 had never released.
All right, so we got 7 minutes left. Kansas City's down 10. It's 10-20. But this was where
A whole bunch of.
yeah, here it is right here. This flag gets them like on top of the end zone because you can't not flag Travis Kelce right here. You have to, I feel like, because what else are you gonna do? Yeah, I'm starting to remember this game a little more now because they get close, they score here. Let me see.
Travis Kelce.
The goat. Oh, there's the picture. The superhero Photoshop pictures. I really hope they don't do that again this year because I'm gonna apply for the job.
And just go there with your iPhone and take pictures of these guys and
Yeah.
post those.
Right, and they'll be 100 times better.
Oh, easily.
17-20, they got the ball back again. So what happened there? Damn it, I didn't see that. I completely forget what happened there. But either way, it's Patrick Mahomes, and he's right back into the red zone. I mean, just look how fast back-to-back, whether it was like a quick 3-and-out or it took a little bit of time. It didn't take that much clock, and they've got the ball again with tons of clock left. It's just what it's just what he does. They just know. But Patty Mahomes wins that one, and he wins MVP, right?
Yep. That's one thing I can say. The 49ers defense flies around.
They do.
Like they're always
Yeah.
flying.
This Super Bowl. So this Super Bowl on my list is the worst Super Bowl of all time. The worst one I've ever seen.
Super Bowl 53.
Rams and Patriots. This was Julian Edelman's game where they gave him the MVP because nobody else did anything. And this is the one they call the defensive game. This was a great defensive Super Bowl, they say.
I don't think it was great defensively. I think it was poor offense.
Yeah, very poor offensively. And like I said, the only touchdown in the game, I think, was Julian Edelman, right? So they kind of had to give the MVP to him. Everything else was
By
field
default.
goals. Yeah, it was just, gosh, it was such a mess. It pissed me off because the Rams shouldn't have been there anyway. In my opinion, I'm a little biased because I was at the game at the Memorial Coliseum when the Cowboys lost.
Oh, was that?
That was the Anderson, CJ, and Todd Gurley 200 yards apiece game. That was the Van Der Esch and Sean Lee blind and forgot what we're doing game.
The day Sean Lee and Van Der Esch gave up.
The day they finally decided to fire Sean Lee.
It was like the South Park episode, the Bad Dad episode, where they probably like, we're gonna have to play more.
Right.
Like, I don't want to spend the rest of my winter doing this.
Try to lose so they don't have to play all summer.
Like, no Super Bowl. I'm tired. I want to go on vacation.
Exactly. This game, I forgot. So this is the game that I thought was going to start off really good because Cordell Patterson was on this team, right?
The
Scorderell.
Patriots, yeah.
He almost got his head ripped off the first play of the game, the first return. And I was like, oh, damn, this is going to be a good game. I just remembered that because you did fall asleep during this game. We watched this game, and you passed out.
Yeah, I knew.
And I wanted to pass out because there was no score until, I think, the second quarter, which was a field goal. Pathetic game.
Yeah, it's bullshit for a Super Bowl.
Yeah, first was Gostkowski from 39 yards. That was in the second quarter. And then the next one after that was in the third quarter when Zerloin hit a field goal. And then fourth quarter, New England scores a touchdown and a field goal and wins the game 13-3. That's just sad. That's so sad. There's nothing. What do you even say about this game? Like, what's there to even talk about here? Like, that was cool. I love seeing Tom Brady get thrown down like a child. That's always great.
Yeah.
But Aaron Donald
They
didn't.
have to.
They have to what?
Aaron Donald didn't what? Oh, I was gonna say they need to make these guys play. They need to set a score. Like, you guys are gonna play till one of you reaches this score.
Right. Yeah, we're at least hitting
You must win
this many points. And Jared Goff, this is when the world found out Jared Goff was not that good. And I feel like we already knew this for a little while going into that.
Yeah,
because I was never a Jared Goff believer. I always thought he was just ugly and clunky, and I just don't think he's that great. I think his footwork is terrible. I think his arm is just like a rubber band he just hucks the ball out of. He's not clean at all.
Yeah.
And so he threw over 200 yards, 229, one interception, no touchdowns. He was 19 for 38 was Jared Goff. And
19
Tom Brady,
for what?
19 for 38.
Jeez.
Yeah. Tom Brady was at least 21 for 35, 260, one interception, no touchdowns. So the Rams did a little bit, but even like the Rams, Aaron Donald didn't really have to play that hard because just watching this game, this was a full-on like check down. Tom Brady was trying to check everything down because he couldn't really do anything. So I feel like all those yards with those 21 completion or those 35 attempts, 21 completions, I feel like all of that was a lot of check downs and trying to just get away from the pass rush because the rest of the defense wasn't that good. This was just not a good match Super Bowl. Neither of these teams deserved to be there. this specific year. Who?
No,
This is when Jacksonville should have beat the Patriots in the AFC Championship game, I think.
what year? Oh,
So this is Super Bowl 53. So same 2018
2009.
season, 19 Super Bowl.
Hey. I almost fell asleep.
Yeah, this one was bad.
I totally how slow paced this game was.
Oh, it was unbelievable. I remember sitting there just waiting for somebody to score, and it just could not happen. Like, look how close they are to the end zone there, and they got to give it back. They didn't even get a field goal right there. Look at that. The Rams have the ball already. Nothing even happened. They went for it on 4th down and probably missed it. It was just a sad game.
Yeah, neither team belonged.
No.
That's for sure.
No, and I feel like Edelman right here. Who scored here? Is that Sony Michel? So he already.
I think so. Yeah.
So let me see. So Sony Michel had the only touchdown. Hold on. This is tripping me out. So Julian Edelman got MVP, right?
I think so. Yeah.
With 8 yards?
Or
8 yards rushing.
No.
And, 100.
I think he got Super Bowl MVP. Super Bowl 50.
Buck 40. He had 140 yards. No, this was definitely the game. This is definitely Julian Edelman game.
So yeah.
So 140 yards, just no touchdowns.
Yeah, that's how. Well, I mean, we know how because nothing else happened.
I feel like this would have been. Yeah, this is just a weird one. So you kind of, I guess we kind of see how they gave it to Julian Edelman. It's like who are you going to give it to? Who did the best? Julian Edelman had 140 yards. Cool, we'll give it to him. I think that's probably what happened. Bill Belichick, and that's when he starts making out with his family or something weird.
Yeah,
something grody. This next Super Bowl though, the old Philly Super Bowl. Super Bowl 52.
Nick Foles.
The Nick Foles Super Bowl. When Nick Foles gave Carson Wentz a Super Bowl ring.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, this was a pretty decent game. I remember this one being pretty good. I did not want the Eagles to win, but I didn't want the Patriots to win either, so I was kind of losing either way.
Yeah, that's it's
damn, you broke up hardcore right there.
Yeah, super difficult for someone that hates the Patriots but hates the Eagles even more.
Right. Yeah, this game, Tom Brady threw over 500 yards in this game, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this one wasn't bad. Nick Foles had a run too. He had almost like a 2010 Aaron Rodgers playoff run. He was just roasting fools. Nobody could follow this dude. Alshon Jeffrey's year. It was a pretty good year. This was Dougie Peterson's year too. Nick Sirianni wasn't even there yet.
No. He such a fluke year. Like they did not deserve to be there. I don't feel like compared to the team they are now.
Yeah.
Like it was Nick Foles. Nick Foles was right.
It was all Nick Foles. It was. Yeah, that dude, because he was,
I,
he was the MVP. Nick Foles was.
yeah, I'm an NFL insider that was they said that Nick Foles is actually the one that drew up that play, the Philly. He created it.
Dang. He just drew it up, probably on the bus or the plane one day.
No, it was on the sideline. They had a play called up, and he said, "No, let's do this.
We're doing this." It's called the Philly. Trust me, you'll like it.
The coaches didn't.
Nick Foles he was 28 for 43, 373, 3 touchdowns. And I don't know how Tom Brady throws 500 plus yards and doesn't win the game. That's pretty amazing. But
because he didn't cheat.
Didn't they tried a Philly and missed it, right? In the same game?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah. I just fell short of Tom Brady's hands.
Yeah, barely out of his reach. Yeah, this game. So it's what? Do you have this game going? It's 3-15 right now.
Yeah. Yeah. They
Oh, Alshon, I remember this.
Oh yeah.
Alshon threw the ball up
in the second quarter. They failed. They did.
Hmm.
Jeez.
And then hucks it again.
Gronk.
Chris Hogan, his only year.
Yeah, I forgot about her.
Dang. That was like a Marshawn Lynch run right there.
Yeah, I forget about a lot of this.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I wanted to. I know the conversation is probably dulled down when we're trying to remember these games while we're kind of watching it, but you got to kind of relive it a little bit for you to start remembering this. And yeah, I forgot how good this game actually was. There was the Philly right there.
The Philly!
Whole crowd just went wild. And that was earlier in the game than I thought. 22-12 at the start of third. So that was before halftime.
Yeah. Yep.
Gronk with his big old should be illegal arm brace.
Yeah, that shouldn't be allowed.
No.
It makes me wonder if the Eagles would have tried that trick play or even thought of it if the Patriots didn't do it.
Did they do it? Did they do it before?
Yeah, they did it early in the game. It was beginning of the second quarter, I think it was.
Oh, dang. See, I was thinking it was the other way around. So Bill Belly was trying a little something, and Nick Foles is like, check this out.
Yeah, that same exact play pretty much. Yeah. Nick Foles' hands are...
There's Hogan again. Nice touchdown. Yeah, 26-29. This is coming down to the wire. I remember this portion of the game for sure because it was getting way close. Start of the fourth quarter. Who's that? Is that Amendola? There's Gronk. Yeah, that was nice. Zach Ertz before he was the Cardinal. He spent a lot of time there. I think this is Zach Ertz's first time getting to a Super Bowl.
Gronk just manhandling this guy.
Yeah.
Making him look
ridiculous.
Nick Foles had a lot of checkdowns in this game.
He did. Yeah, this Patriots defense was pretty good with Patrick Chung and Like Devin McCourty,
Yeah.
Malcolm Brown, Stephon Gilmore was on there. James Harrison was still playing. They had some dudes.
Jalen Brown.
Who'd you say?
Jalen Brown. The multi-quadrillionaire. Yeah, this game was definitely all Nick Foles and little checkdowns.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. And that was how that was how it went. That's pretty funny. The hype of the game was just so hot there for a second, and then it just kind of died. This next one will make you happy. This is Super Bowl 51.
Oh,
We should have known when Luke Bryan came out singing the national anthem what was about to happen.
it was cursed from the get-go.
Yeah, honestly, what cursed it, I think, was George W. Bush coming out for the coin toss.
Yeah, I don't even know if I'm going to watch this one back because of it. Devontae Freeman, right off the bat, was taking.
Yeah, Devontae Freeman went hard. He was all for this Super Bowl, that's for sure.
Dre Matthews.
Yeah, they had studs. This defense was killer. Keanu Neal and
Devondre
Debo
Campbell.
Jones, Devondre Campbell. Vic Beasley wasn't on this team, right?
He was on. He was signed up,
Was he?
but I'm gonna take a super quick break. I'll be right back.
Oh, you're cool.
All right.
I'll take a break too. Screw it. Just kidding. We don't take breaks here. Be right back. All right. So we are back with the Luke Bryan video. Got to show him again. He is one of the GOATs. This Super Bowl.
Greatest.
So for people that don't know already, I think he's a Falcons fan. So
Yeah, I am.
this is a
little
tough
bit.
one. This was a tough one for me, and I'm a Cowboys fan, but I'm always kind of partial to these. I don't know where that sound's coming from, by the way, but I'm always partial to these Falcons.
Julio.
Yeah, don't know what that was. There we go. Yeah, this one takes a little while to get going, but I definitely
The pick.
I want to feel this one.
Man, you don't pick six Tom Brady in the Super Bowl.
Alfred, right?
Just doesn't happen. Man. Yeah.
Yeah, that boy, him and Desmond Trufant that year, they weren't locked down, but damn, were they clean as fuck all year. Clean. Trufant, dude, I can't believe they got rid of Desmond Trufant after he like showed who he was. Yeah, this was all domination. This was complete domination. I remember, I think everybody knows the halftime score of this game, but at halftime I was extremely comfortable.
Everyone knows the quarter. 8 minutes left in the third quarter.
God. Oh, man. Yeah, this is rugged. I can't even see these Falcons in these maroon reds and not think the terrible Super
Julio
Bowl.
Toad?
Oh, my Lord.
Julio with the best Super Bowl catch of all time, besides Julian Edelman's lucky one that happened right after.
That was a bump because his sideline, Julio. Are you talking about Julio Jones's sideline catch?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, that was disgusting. But the Edelman catch, he'll even say that was 100% luck. Like Julio's was all skill, but man, did Edelman get lucky on that catch because we were like, nope, hit the ground. It didn't hit the fucking ground. It didn't even touch the ground at all. Unbelievable. Look at this pass rush, dude. Oh, my Lord. They were just unstoppable. And the Falcons were beating teams by like 30, 40 points all year. This offense was unbelievable all year. Mohamed Sanu, Devonta Freeman was just amazing. Who was your other running back? You guys had another dude too, right? Was it Mostert?
Evan.
I keep wanting to say Mostert for some reason. Did you guys ever have Mostert?
No, we had. No, it was Devonta Freeman and Tevin Coleman.
Tevin Coleman, that's right. Maybe I'm thinking most.
Yeah,
Tevin Coleman.
Was good. Yeah, Grady Jarrett.
Grady
was a rookie in that.
Yeah.
3 Super Bowl sacks as a rookie.
Debo was a rookie too, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, their team, like Keanu Neal and.
The only difference now is Debo is.
Yeah, Debo's basically non-existent anymore.
No.
He gave it all for the cause, kind of like Julio did.
Yeah.
Julio had a messed up toe. Even in this game.
Julio toe the free.
Yeah, he had some problems, but he definitely died for the cause. And then this run right here.
We had Austin Hooper that year.
Austin Hooper was really good that year. Went to the Browns and didn't do anything. But look at this. Just the feeling you get from watching this. It's 7-0 now. They had to work for that touchdown, though. Because this defense was good.
Mm-hmm.
Falcons' defense was definitely better, I think. But look at this. Is that Russell Gage? or no, Russell Gage wasn't here yet. Who's
Austin Hooper.
18 though? Um,
8
that's
was
okay.
Taylor Gabriel that year, I think.
Damn, Austin Hooper right there. Is that the touchdown you just saw? Was that
What's
the
that?
Austin Hooper touchdown?
Austin Hooper. 14-0, yeah.
14-0.
It was 21-0 at one point.
It was.
After the pick six. God dang, this team is good.
Yeah, I almost forgot about Ricardo Allen and
Ricardo
Brooks
Allen.
Reed or Dre Matthews, like you said earlier. This team was stacked. They were good, and they were almost nobodies and rookies, and like it's just kind of like how that Bucks defense worked out. It just you want to win, you fucking want to win. They were doing everything to win. But they also had Dan Quinn. It was a different time. And look at this, Alford, pick 6. Damn, right across the field.
It
just barely trots in.
I thought for sure that was fucking the tag, dude.
That feels like the nail.
That Alford pick 6. So,
nothing better than getting Tom Brady throwing tablets. You get Tom Brady throwing tablets, you might have the game won.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
the game should have been won.
Right.
Should have been done there.
Yeah, 21-0. Almost a pick right there. They were getting in there. Vic Beasley. Yeah, Falcons were high flying. I don't think they got a name like the Legion of Boom, but they were close. Definitely a underrated defense for how good the offense was. Dang. Killer Tom Brady, these check-ons.
Julio catch.
Julio what?
That Julio catch. So it leads me to think that Julio's messed up toe is going to be on his left foot. He slammed that right foot down and was...
Oh, we're on that awesome halftime show. Incredible. Just absolutely incredible.
It was the best. I think I missed that. I think I was standing in a garage.
Yeah, I don't think I was paying too much attention. I would right now. I feel like I was saying everything except the Falcons are going to win. All but guaranteed at this point. I felt like this is Lady Gaga, right?
On that shitty overtime rule.
This is terrible. It's like Weekend in Bernie's. She's being like drug around on strings, and then someone's carrying her around, and unbelievable. Lady Gaga, she can put on a show, but to her fans, like, don't force that on everybody.
Yeah, not everybody digs
Everybody's
that.
got those secret bands and secret artists they listen to, and Lady Gaga, I don't think, is one of those guilty pleasures.
No. Is my video up on your end?
Yeah, I can see you. Is it not coming through?
For sure. All right. No, I don't see it on my end. Still to this day, I'm still trying to figure out where and why the Patriots cheated. I think it has to do a lot with Kyle Shanahan, which was the offensive coordinator for the Falcons at the time.
Something happened. something happened.
Something
I don't
happened,
know what it
dude.
was because right about the time, uh, third quarter, like close to the end of the third quarter, about the time when Little Bow Wow was really really upset, and the whole world was like, "Oh no, Tom Brady's doing it."
Oh, yeah.
This
And that god awful
right is this? I was
overtime
gonna say, is
rule.
this overtime already, or did it restart?
I think it cut ahead to overtime.
No, this is the beginning of the game again. Damn stream.
Oh, it switched back.
This is so hard, but maybe that's a good thing that we don't get to watch the rest of that one, because I mean Tom Brady went 43 for 62, 466, 2 touchdowns and a pick. That's pretty unreal for a game that was absolutely unwinnable.
Pretty grim. I unwinnable. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, this was Matt Ryan's Super Bowl window, that's for sure.
Matt Ryan deserved. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Clearly now he's
Is that
broadcasting
what
for
he's doing?
CBS. You see that?
Man, and
That
I
came
feel
out
bad
today.
what happened with the
Can be a
Colts too,
broadcast.
because
Yeah.
I mean, I felt bad for Matt Ryan because I've always watched Matt Ryan's games. Like I was always watching Matt Ryan play. And then for them to move on but without even moving on, like just like looking into an offer is what caused that whole thing. He said fuck you guys because they were looking at Deshaun Watson, wasn't it? Never should have happened.
And they did it badly. Like, and I don't know what their game plan was, unless like I believe that Desmond Ritter is going to be very good, but to give up your franchise quarterback, like like you're that's a huge swing and a miss. Like you're going for
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson
And at that point,
over Matt
they
Ryan
didn't even
for
know if he was going to
whatever
play.
reason. That's like yeah.
Like suspensions were looming over his head and everything. Like
No.
And plus he had all that time off. Like, was he going to be
And then
good? And he proved he wasn't. They're probably lucky they got a Desmond Ritter and they didn't go for Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, I feel like they could have gotten a Desmond Ritter. Like, could you imagine a Desmond Ritter under a Matt Ryan for a couple seasons compared to under Marcus Mariota for a whole season except 4 games?
Oh, yeah, it could have been way different. Matt Ryan could have actually taught him some things. Because, I mean, Marcus Mariota doesn't give me the company man vibes, especially being on a couple teams already. I think once you go through a couple teams, it's hard to be that company man for a new team. Like, I'm going to play for me. Hopefully I'm good so I can keep getting jobs or just stay with this job. That doesn't work.
Yeah, he's not the dude, that's for sure. But Matt Ryan, it's terrible. His career, he still says that he wants to play, but his career is over. Like that, it's pretty terrible.
I don't see anybody needing a Matt Ryan, even though I think he is probably better than some quarterbacks. His Colts tape, if you watched only Colts tape of Matt Ryan, which a lot of people are going to think of Matt Ryan as just a guy that was never good because they remember him as a Colt. But
yeah, Julio Toes.
Who was that?
Super Bowl's fucking phony.
I'm actually going to... Oh, no, it restarted again. Oh, well. We have a lot to work on with this stream, so people bear with us. We are still learning. But this Super Bowl was fixed. We can go on to the next one because I don't think we want to watch that full 20 minutes again. But the Falcons, I don't want to say the game was thrown. I don't want to say some sort of decision was made, but the last time we saw a Super Bowl that people think was thrown was Bill Callahan back in the day with the Raiders when he threw the game to Tampa Bay to John Gruden.
John Gruden and Warren Sapp.
So there's a lot of stuff in that game that people can look at. Like, this game doesn't have that. I feel like if this was thrown in a way more sophisticated way than that Callahan game was, because like audible calls were kept the same, so Tampa Bay knew every audible call at the line of scrimmage that the Raiders were using. Like, there was a lot of weird things going on there. We'll talk about that game. That was Super Bowl 37 or something. We'll get there eventually. But this next one, Super Bowl 50. This game to me, it's weird that it ended up being Super Bowl 50, where they used all the gold the whole year, and it was like a big deal that it was the 50th Super Bowl, and it kind of closed out like the old football era. Know what I mean? Like, this was just the last
absolutely.
Super Bowl I remember that was really rugged. They really let them play. It was super physical. This was a good Super Bowl. I liked Super Bowl 50. And Cam's year, the biggest thing, I think what happened here was not so much Peyton Manning being Peyton Manning. I think it was more, when you make it to the Super Bowl, I'm one of those, if I was a coach, I have to do what brought me to the Super Bowl. I have to keep that core game plan of what got me there. And that was all Cam Newton, letting Cam Newton do Cam Newton. But Cam Newton threw for 265 yards. He was 18 for 41 in that game. Hardly ever ran the ball. Hardly, like, they just did not. Cam Newton could not play like he played all year. And I don't think it was because DeMarcus Ware and Von Miller being so good, even though they were really good all year that year. It wasn't super domination over these guys. Like, it was a crazy physical game. Cam Newton just did not do what got him there, and it screwed them, I think. No.
And he was never the same since.
And this was a unanimous MVP year. Like, that fumble right there that just happened. There was another fumble in this game. I don't know if it happened already. Yeah, Von Miller just took the ball from. This, and there's another play that got Von Miller the MVP of this game. But
I think it's always super impressive when a defensive player wins it.
Yeah, when a defensive player earns it, I feel like they earned it, because that doesn't happen. That never happens. It's usually the quarterback, but I wonder how many times Cam Newton actually rushed in this game, because he ran 6 times for 45 yards.
Another Von Miller strip.
Damn,
I totally forgot that when Cam Newton blatantly he didn't jump on the ball. I didn't know that was a Von Miller strip sack. He had 2 of them in this game.
It must have been that same play, because I didn't know who did that, but you're talking It almost looked like a bot snap, and he didn't jump on it. Like, it happened so fast, and he saw the ball, didn't jump on it, and then Denver dove on it. That kind of showed a little bit of Cam Newton, too, in crunch time. There's not a ball I don't jump on in the Super Bowl, especially if I'm 6'4", 260 like Cam Newton.
Correction, there's not a ball you wouldn't jump on at all. Like, regular season,
Right.
doesn't matter. Like, you're jumping on that fumble.
Fumble is a fumble. Defense has excuses, but offense, if there's a ball on the ground, especially a quarterback right in front of you, you saw him. His life flashed before his eyes. He was like, I'm not going in there. I'm not getting hurt for this ball.
And then he claps on the sideline like it's not his ball.
Dang.
Peyton Manning.
Yeah, Peyton Manning didn't do too much. He threw 140. No touchdowns, 13 for 23. It was definitely the defense that won the game. But it was those couple plays, because you're talking, if they scored touchdowns on those 2 drives that they lost the ball on, the game's tied. Just so uncomfortable. But that's him doing Cam. Look at this. Watch him complete this pass, too. Yep, he got it. It's stuff like that Cam didn't do during this Super Bowl that could have probably won the Super Bowl, because he was super dominating. He was no doubt the MVP this year because of, I mean, he scored touchdowns like it was just nothing all the time. He was rushing the ball. Nobody could get him down. Stiff arming people. The dude was the MVP that year.
No.
And he did not show it in the Super Bowl. It's almost like he was intimidated by this defense, which I see why you would be, but I'm the MVP. Like, it's just classic example of not doing what got you there.
And they should have stripped him of his MVP award after this.
Yeah, just give it to Peyton Manning.
I think that as soon as he didn't jump on that fumble, they should have snatched it from him.
Should have just taken it.
That's not MVP caliber.
Yeah, because anybody watching that replay knows what happened.
He totally. Yeah, even him. You see the face he makes after it happens on the sideline. Yeah.
Dang. Corey Brown was pretty decent. He was dying for the cause too, but this was Greg Olson's last year, right?
I think so, yeah. He went away.
Yeah, Greg Olson was kind of one of those that was held up a little higher than I think he was. He wasn't one of those tight ends that really like stuck out to me. He's like in that Dallas Clark, Zach Ertz area for me. He's not in that upper echelon.
Yeah. Who won MVP this year?
Are you talking for the season?
MVP. No, for
Von Miller
Super Bowl.
won this one.
I was gonna say, if they gave it to Peyton Manning after his 13 for 23 and 141 yards, no touchdowns and an interception.
Yeah, I was almost waiting for it. But I think by the end of the game, everybody knew what the tipping points were of the game. Because this right here, even this pick right here, he's almost like saying, catch up. So if you're talking 3 of these possessions, like if they capitalize on this possession and they had the 14 from the other ones, they're up right now. They'd be winning the game if they score here. And, God dang, look at that. But stuff like that happens. Yeah. Von Miller just does shit like that. It's like in the Super Bowl. With Aaron Donald.
Yeah,
he just does it. Like at the time you need it, that's when he's going to do it. Yeah, and to get Cam Newton down, you needed two guys, and this Broncos team,
Or one DeMonte KZ.
oh KZ, yeah, they needed a KZ to put Cam Newton out of his misery again. That would have been ideal. So, damn, I'm like,
It's a robbery when a Super Bowl game's not close.
what's that?
So it's like robbery when a Super Bowl game's not close.
Dang, took it right from him. So they took the ball away. They took the ball away twice like that from Peyton Manning. It is a wonder they were losing, and then that happens immediately. Holy shit. Is that Ward? Yeah, this defense was stupid. They wanted the ball. They were like, they weren't like a 2000 Ravens defense like some people say, but they were good. It's already over. DeMarcus Ware finally got his ring.
Big baby face ass boy.
There's CJ. A couple years he's going to go rip up the Cowboys in the Coliseum.
For one season.
Yeah, Peyton Manning. He rode off to the sunset. He did it the right way after this one. Because right before this, you remember the Super Bowl right before this one?
Yeah, yeah.
This one started out super shaky. old Marshawn Lynch. I loved Marshawn Lynch.
Super Bowl 4.
This is 49, yep. Patriots.
Oh, yeah. I'd love
Patriots Seagulls. Pick right in the end zone. This defense, though, you want to talk about a Ray Lewis defense, this is the closest we've seen is the Legion of Boom, I think. Like, you don't see defenses like this anymore. This was another random one.
No. And you also don't see you don't see Russell Wilson out on the 50-yard line of the Super Bowl game doing a spin.
No.
His arms spread wide.
Russell Wilson doesn't even make it to the 50 anymore. NFL Insider told me Russ Wilson is getting sat for Ben DiNucci this year.
The DiNucci, they call him.
This game, so Tom Brady threw 328, 37 for 50. What is with Tom Brady and throwing 800 times in every Super Bowl game? All checkdowns. Starting to see a trend.
All check.
4 touchdowns in that freaking... Yeah, this was a defensive game for sure. They both scored in the second quarter, and then the Seahawks scored 10 on them, and then they stopped scoring the whole game. Patriots scored 2 more. Russ Wilson. I don't know how he got to back-to-back Super Bowls. He's one of the worst quarterbacks to go back-to-back like that. But if you watch those couple years, he was really good. I don't know. People just didn't figure him out fast enough or something. He threw 250, 12 for 21. He wasn't awful. But I do want to say the ending to this game is what made the whole game, but I can't remember. Tom Brady to Edelman. That feels like the dagger, but Russ has got it. He's got it. Is Bobby Kraft post hand jobs? Post and pre.
Do you know what they called that Malcolm Butler play? They call it the great happy ending. The greatest happy ending of Robert
Ever. This catch was stupid.
Ever.
This shouldn't have even happened. That was unbelievable.
No. Oh, look, it was Malcolm Butler that should have been there.
Marshawn stopped a yard short. What do you do right here if you're the coach?
Oh, I'd probably run
for
Marshawn
sure.
again.
Just checking. Oh, my God. And that's why.
You don't even have to. You could have given the ball to Russell Wilson to sneak it up the middle. You could have anything.
Yeah, a pass there
We're
is
gonna-
just unbelievable. Little slant like that.
It's
like
not. It's
made Malcolm Butler the hero. They almost got screwed here, though, because he didn't go down in the end zone. He went down at the 1, right? So he pinned Tom Brady way close to the back. Something bad really could have happened with this defense. This defense could have done something on the line, gotten a safety or something right there, but that
just
was
nothing.
wild. That was a pretty wild game. Yeah, nothing. They just didn't get shit. This game was wild. This snap at the beginning of this game kind of just set the tone for the entire thing. This was Russ's definitely better year because nobody had figured him out yet. This was Joe Namath fucking up the toss. They didn't even ask heads or tails.
Yeah, it just showed how
There's Champ.
he shouldn't ever have been on football. Baldwin.
Right over his head. That was unreal. All up in Peyton
Richard
Manning's ear.
Sherman lost him that game.
Yeah, this wasn't right
was
after the Richard Sherman freak out
Before.
about Crabtree.
Yeah. Yeah.
You ever talk about me?
Children.
He's all hide your daughters, hide your wife, hide your. That was the same video, wasn't it?
No, I think you're thinking of the one where he broke ex-in-law's house and robbed it at gunpoint or some crazy thing.
That could have been it. That was probably it.
No,
Damn, look at that throw.
Paul-
They just torch him, right?
Unbelievable.
This Super Bowl, doesn't this Super Bowl get ridiculous? Like super unnecessary, just beating the shit out of the dead horse the whole time. I remember it being bad because we've got a buddy who's a fan of the Clip Clops, the old Bronx, and he wears a Demaryius Thomas jersey with this Super Bowl logo on the chest. That always amazed me
Like it's
because
something.
they got beat. It was 43-8. They ended up losing this game 43-8. How does that happen in a Super Bowl with Peyton Manning and this defense? Like, look how good the Broncos were. People argue the Broncos are better this year than they were 2 years after and won the Super Bowl.
Whatever.
But, like I
Yeah.
said, he wears a
They,
Demaryius Thomas jersey that's from this game.
Quick scoring. Manning threw a couple picks. He threw a pick six.
Pick six, yeah, he threw 280, 34 for 49. Russ was damn good. He was 18 for 25, 206, 2 touchdowns. So he didn't have an amazing day, but he had a clean day for sure.
Yeah. Malcolm Smith won the MVP. Yes. And yeah, I say the fastest score, like 12 seconds, but it was on a safety. But then they came out at halftime and scored 12 seconds.
Yeah. Peyton knows
Like
it.
total. Yeah, the worst. Was probably one of the best games of Russell Wilson's career, and it was probably one of the worst games of Peyton Manning's career.
For sure, yeah. Yeah, Russ played super clean, almost no mistakes. But this defense is what kept him. He kept he kept his spirits high and his balls big from this defense. This defense did it for him.
Right. Cam Chancellor.
Yeah, this was, I don't see that. What's Richard Sherman talking about? What's he mad about?
I think it's saying 24. We have 24.
24 men on the field.
But I think that was Super Bowl, the last one we watched, so 49. Just flipping out. But I mean, he was always flipping out.
Oh yeah, he was always losing it. Yeah, there was a lot of daggers in this one.
Yeah, oh yeah. They never stopped delivering them.
Yeah, they just didn't stop. Broncos are probably just blown away right now that they can't score at all. Pete Carroll's over there just smacking his gum away, his double bubba.
Poor fucking piece of gum. I'm curious the gum that he chews. Like, that shit gets liquefied if you chew it too hard for too long, almost.
Right. I hear he mixes it with chocolate. That was an NFL insider. For every piece of gum, he takes a piece of chocolate too. So he likes to smack on it for a while. Oh, there's Demarius. He's like, we're going for two. We're going for the throats. Doug Baldwin again. Yeah, you just couldn't stop these Seahawks. I don't know what it was. And, yeah, because Peyton knows the game too damn well. By this point, he knows the game's over. Let me just make it not hurt as bad. Is kind of what it seems like he's doing at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, they're just closing seconds of the third quarter. That's crazy. And then Seahawks went and scored right away.
Yeah, that was a crazy one. This one is our last one for our 10 Super Bowls. This is 49ers and the Ravens. 47. Ray Lewis' last game. The Harbaugh Bowl. Yep. The night Ray Lewis shut the lights off on everybody.
Yeah, right.
I was in Germany for this game, and we stayed up super late for this game to happen, and the lights went off. I was like, no way. And that was like an hour wait or something crazy. I remember it being quite a while. But they insist on having these Super Bowls in Louisiana like every couple years. They're doing Mercedes-Benz Superdome again this year for the Super Bowl.
Yes.
It's like non-stop. It's always there.
Yeah, the light shutting off, that's pretty bizarre. Like, a bunch of players just sitting out on the field.
Yep, just getting cold. Kaepernick's arm getting all rested.
Yeah. He would have been a Super Bowl here if he hadn't pulled his arm off.
Yeah. This was the perfect example of defenses win Super Bowls because Joe Flacco, I think, won the MVP of this game, didn't he? Yeah.
What's that? Flacco? Yeah, Flacco. I think a lot of this game, I don't think it was necessarily like the 49ers because it finished pretty close. But watching it back, I don't think it was near as close as the score shows. I think a lot of it was the Ravens' errors, like just stupid errors.
Yeah. Well, and there were some issues too
dumb fumble.
because there was some stuff that happened in this game that could have turned it the other way, but I feel like because the Ravens scored 21 points before half, and then they had 7 more, and that was kind of the game because the 49ers put 17 points up in the third quarter trying to hustle back, and they couldn't. So that kind of skews the score. It definitely makes it look like it was closer because the Ravens defense came out pretty weak, let them score a couple times, and they kind of started catching back up. Because people remember this as the Ray Lewis last game and the Kaepernick game, but Colin Kaepernick was not ready to play. He had a couple good playoff games, but he rode Alex Smith all the way to the playoffs this year, and he came out and he played a couple good games, and the Super Bowl kind of showed how inexperienced he was. But having Joe Flacco on the other side, who's not experienced at all either, really, but it shows a couple years in the league definitely helps you out more.
A lot of his throws were super, super careless, but they paid off.
Well, yeah, because he was like that guy. I felt like he couldn't see what was happening beforehand. A lot of people talk shit about Kaepernick a lot, and I'm one of them because I can't stand the guy. But it started as a player. It wasn't all the bullshit that surrounds him. It was as a player. I didn't think he was good enough to even be playing in this game in the first place. It was just, who else were they going to play? It was that was their backup dude. That was the guy.
Yeah.
So that's who they had to play. And people think he earned his way to a Super Bowl. People thought he would. Look at that scramble right there. That was third down. That was 3rd and 2, and you're in the red zone, and you're going to scramble around like this, super careless with the ball hanging out one side like you're Deion Sanders, just holding it with one hand. He could thread the needle. The dude could throw the ball so hard.
Pretty much.
Here's that return.
Yeah.
Yeah, because look at this. 28-6, 27-6 right now, 28 about to be. There's the Ray Lewis dance. Yeah,
his little guy half
28-6. Yeah, seriously, there's another thread the needle pass. He could definitely do that. He didn't see when guys were open until they were actually open, and he could get the ball to them quick. Look at that footwork. That's why Colin Kaepernick's not here anymore. There go the lights. Ray Lewis.
Gone. Just shut off.
See that?
Flacco's so
not open till he's open. Let me just huck it as hard as I can right to his chest. It worked for a little bit.
Almost every single throw made in this game, super contested.
Yeah.
But it worked.
Right. Yeah, I didn't notice that the first couple times because I've seen this game a couple times, but I'm really noticing right now how many passes were, like you said, there was nobody was open in this game from what I see. Like this, I mean, on top of him.
And he still made the throw. He should have had 6 picks.
Yeah, there's definitely potential for a lot of picks here. And look how hard they had to try to get into that end zone. So that score right there, they earned it, but they also kind of caught the Ravens slacking. And then the defense, of course, got a little pumped up, gave him a 3 and out, sacked Flacco, short punt, great field position. And this will be another...
They're setting themselves up to win the game, but they didn't. Good return.
Yeah, good return on already short field.
Frank Gore.
Yeah, Frank Gore was great that year. He had a couple years. He was just so durable. That's what impressed me about Frank Gore. Super durable.
He was a paid man.
Dang, and they got the ball back right here. No pass rush at all.
I had that fumble. Just punch right out.
And went for the field goal there.
David Akers wide to the left.
So now, I mean, the 49ers in their head, they might be thinking they're going to win this one. You got to be happy right now, being down like that and then coming back so fast. Because it almost seems like a game now. I also, during this game, I remember, because I was kind of a Ray Lewis fan, so I always watched Ray Lewis, but he was kind of slow and sad this whole year. He was like the ringmaster of the defense. He made everybody else work to supplement him not being able to go as hard anymore. It was kind of genius defensive captain shit.
Oh, come on. Flacco got drilled out of bounds. That should have been a flag.
Here goes Cap. One hand on the ball. Tutty. He's losing his mind right now because he knows the score. We're down 2. Now we're still down 2 because we went for 2. I go for the field goal right there. I don't go for 2 right there.
Yep.
Flags out the ass.
Take the sure points.
Yeah, take those points.
And not to mention, Colin Kaepernick had fucking Randy Moss. Like, that just shows how not connected to his receivers he is. Like, he tried throwing a fade route, and Randy Moss was doing a slant. Like, if you can't be on the same page as Randy Moss, that says a lot.
I think Colin Kaepernick, I've heard a couple different interviews that he had some problems reading playbooks as far as learning them and understanding them because the changes that are in them so fast. And apparently he had trouble doing that, and he was more like on the fly, like not sabotaging plays. I wouldn't say he sabotaged plays, but I think he maybe didn't throw some balls that he maybe could have thrown because he was like, let me do it myself. I got that vibe from Kaepernick a lot when he played. Here goes Gore again.
But I'm not throwing to whack receiver.
No. Hell no. They're forcing it.
And then,
Absolute forcing it.
Yeah. Like, you should all-star. Mr. wants to be in the NFL still. Like, you're not making it in the NFL throwing balls like that. And when it's on the line in the Super Bowl and you make that throw,
right,
you show your worth real quick.
Now you got your coach screaming for you because
like
he's trying anything he can. Oh, this was right here. What do you think of this? Saving, like stopping them from using that time. I've always thought that was a little cowardice.
Oh, like using the
punter?
When the punter grabbed the ball and ran. I love it. I fucking love it. Because, like, as the opposing team that's just waiting, like, you're expecting a return there, and then the punter just starts running around like a little jackass.
Right.
Oh, man. I love it.
Yeah, if I was on the
didn't happen
defense,
against
I
my
would just
team.
be so mad. It'd be like a late hit out of bounds. I would have to do something. I would be pissed.
Yeah, especially where they are on the field, like, he's getting career ended. Like, I'm taking his life.
Yeah, I'm going to try to earhole him and just end him for doing what he just did. But that game, that was kind of wild because... So now that we've kind of gone through those 10 Super Bowls, next time we do Super Bowls again, I almost want to have highlights again, but do 20, 30-minute highlights to see more of the game. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I think we kind of cut them
yeah.
down. Some of them were a little short, but that wasn't too bad. The only other thing I wanted to kind of get on was the playoff picture for the MLB.
MLB playoff picture.
So,
Heating up.
yeah, it's baseball. It's a good time for baseball right now. I'm excited. Now,
The Braves are obviously the favorite to win.
to win the whole Super Show,
I guarantee it.
who's your World Series pick?
I'm trying to wait till after the trade deadline to see that, but pre trade deadline, I think it's going to be the Rangers versus the Braves in the World Series, and I think the Braves will probably take it in 5 or 6 games.
Dang, that'd be pretty wild.
But if the Giants get Otani, they'll probably still make it in on a wild card, and that's, I feel like, is the scariest thing ever for the whole league. A wild card Giants with Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, the Giants, you want to talk about a team that's hitting. The Giants are smacking the ball. So in the American League,
they are.
My pick's the Rangers, and I think I'm being a little biased, but I don't think Baltimore is for real. I think Baltimore is kind of a little glimmer. I think if the season ends today,
they're not going to
be
win
number
that
one.
division.
But I don't think they're going to be. I don't think they're going to be the first seed.
No. I think that's the Rays division.
You think what?
I think they'll probably end up winning that division. They've really off, but I think that they're going to get hot right at the right time.
Yeah, it definitely could.
I don't think they'll do shit in the play. But the Twins are that slot. The Twins were. I know that Carlos Correa feller is on that team, but other than that, I didn't even really forgot about them. I actually forgot about AL Central.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of fucking. Yeah, the AL West. I don't see any other team beating the Rangers in the playoffs.
I don't either. I think so. If the season ended today, the Orioles would get the bye, Rangers would get the bye. It'd be the Astros against the Rays, the Twins against the Blue Jays. But again, I think the Yankees are going to squeak in over Toronto. Tampa Bay, I don't think's falling
I think
out.
the Blue Jays. That whole division is actually pretty. No, they're only a game and a half back.
Yeah, no, they're looking at.
And even the Yankees. Yankees are still only.
Yeah, they're two games back. Yeah.
The Yankees? No, they're in last place in that division. They're 9 games back, but still it's under 10 games.
Yeah, because Boston, I think Boston and the Yankees have the
but
same
you look
record,
at
but I think the Yankees definitely have a better shot than the Red Sox do.
Yeah, their Red Sox are so after today updating they have 50 wins. Yankees only have 50. So it's 1 game.
Yeah. So the National League, the Braves in first, Dodgers, Marlins, Reds, and then Brewers, Diamondbacks. But if we're looking at if we're looking at that division with the Diamondbacks and the Dodgers and Giants, I think the Giants are a better team than the Diamondbacks are.
Yeah,
absolutely. It's kind of hard. The playoff picture is always hard this early just because baseball so much happens in so little time. But I like looking at,
Right.
because you get
So
a good. There's always like 5, 6 teams you can always write off. Like the Rockies aren't doing anything. The Nationals, the Pirates, the Cardinals, Mets, Padres, Cubs. I don't think any of those teams are doing much of anything.
It makes my suck so bad. Padres spent so much money and they
Yeah.
suck so bad.
Yeah, they did too. They spent all of it. Went and got everybody.
I think what's your surprise team out of the National League? Like a team that's not necessarily in first place, but you think might squeak in or get a wild card and
I want to
have a
say
quick
San
run.
Francisco, but it's actually the Marlins, only because I think they're better than Philadelphia, but I do think I don't know, something's going to happen with the Giants and the Diamondbacks and the Dodgers. They're all interchangeable as far as I'm concerned right now, and that's going to push Cincinnati down. Yeah,
They're all the same.
like Milwaukee's staying up there, the Braves are staying up there.
I
the
think
Dodgers, Giants, and Diamondbacks, I think they're going to scratch and claw for.
You're picking the Reds to fall out.
What's that?
Said you're picking the Reds to fall out of the race.
Yeah, but it's only because the Marlins.
It's funny because I picked that. The Reds is my surprise team that's going to make make a good run. And most of it, have you seen this Ellie Cruz guy?
Yeah.
This rookie. Oh my God! What kind of threw cold water on that? The Ellie Dela Cruz thing was Patrick Bailey, the Giants rookie catcher, throwing him out. Like seeing him toss him out a second, but still, he's pretty phenomenal. His speed, and he's just reckless. Like a couple weeks ago, he went from first, stole second, stole third, then stole home on 2 pitches.
Damn. And they played the Brewers today. They beat the Brewers.
Yeah, they've been pretty hot. That's definitely my pick. They just got the kind of the swagger going on right now, but it's still so early. Just no way to tell.
And I do think the Brewers, if they can keep beating the Brewers when they play them, they'll be all right, because everybody else in that division, I don't think is going to contend. So the Reds definitely make sense.
No.
I just think the Marlins, because they're right behind the Braves. They're back 10 games from the Braves, but I'm saying they're right behind them because they're right on the Phillies as far as they're super equal, 54 wins or 53 wins. I think they'll squeak ahead.
Yeah, they're both the Phillies and at 54. The Marlins, they've fallen off kind of. They're 1-9 in their last 10. So even if they won half of those games, though,
because these are all going to change. Because
quick turnaround, especially if.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, especially if you know that you're not going to win the division. Like the Braves are going to win that division.
They're too good,
and you can play comfortably and know that you're going to squeak in on a wild card. I think that goes a long way.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah, because wild card for football, I feel like means something totally different than for baseball. Wild card teams, I think, are a little
baseball
more
added a whole nother wild card spot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's your World Series?
So my World Series picks are the Braves against the Rangers. Rangers in 6, but again, it's hard not to be biased. If I was picking another team out of the AL to win it, though, it'd probably be the Rays. Like I don't think the Orioles are like for real, but I think the Rays are very good. I think the Rays are better than the Orioles. So Rays, Braves, or Rangers, Braves. I'm going with Rangers, Braves. Rangers just give me that vibe.
The Braves are my NL lock.
Braves. Yeah, like that's. I feel like my opinion
Yeah, the
on
Braves
the
are.
Braves is not going to change. It's going to have to be really drastic for the rest of the year for me to pick against the Braves. Like somebody is going to have to come out, like you said, like San Francisco, and just go ape shit, or like the Brewers could do something. Dodgers are always whatever. The Reds, like you said, like there's some teams, even the Phillies, they're in a decent spot, but the Braves are good again. So yeah, that.
And they're like set up. So the Braves are like set
Mm,
10 years with all their players. For some reason they did it the smart way. Instead of chasing one big ass contract player, they first it on guys that they knew could play together to win a championship. And now they have them signed up for the next.
Yeah, that's why I never go with like football. I feel like you got to hit big names, but baseball you don't necessarily need the guys. Like look at your catcher situation in San Francisco after Buster Posey left. Like everybody was kind of down on the whole catcher position in general, and then this dude you got now, it's all hopeful again. It's like, damn, this dude is the future right now.
Yeah. I can't stand, the one thing I can't stand is the catchers on their one knee, rest on one knee, like the big thing. And I was always told, don't do that. You're gonna get like, don't rest your knees. Like,
yeah, you want to take a shot to the inside of your thigh or your knee. That's how you sit. It is like a new trend. A lot of catchers are doing that. Even if you see in high school, it's more prevalent in softball than I've seen in anything. College softball or high school softball, catchers on one knee. I never liked it for baseball. You got to be. It is lazy. I think it's lazy because if I'm a base runner, I'm seeing that, right? If I can steal second, like that's part of what I'm looking at. Now, if you got a catcher that can just pop up, like there are dudes that can do that, but the majority can't do that.
Yeah.
Their guy Murphy though,
yeah,
Sean Murphy, Sean Murphy, yeah, that dude. You're talking about a catcher. That dude for the Braves, he's the truth. They've got everything worked out. But if you do that, if you go out and get utility players and a bunch of randos, you're going to have a team like that. Like, you got to have your veteran dudes and try to get big names if you can. But those teams that do that, like, look at the Padres.
Yeah.
It doesn't always help. Like, if you go out and get these brand new utility players, you're going to find somebody. Everybody needs a shot. That's why I don't like the same rotation, the good old boy club. These players of sons of, you know what I mean? There's always, it just goes down. The family members are all players. And you're like, dude, they're taking some spots that other people could be taking that don't get the chance. And that's how you find these random dudes that are nobodies.
The last name thing starts like with your local sports, and it follows. It'll follow. It depends who you are, who you're.
Yeah, shoot.
You decide where Ohtani's gonna go.
God,
besides the Rangers, not going there.
I'm really still thinking the Dodgers or the Yankees, but I don't know why I'm thinking that, because I hate them both. But that's kind of what's making me think he's going to go there, because, I mean, the Dodgers have a way of pulling people in, just like the Rangers or just like the Yankees do. People want to play for those teams, and it's hard. It's hard, especially when you get a player like that everybody unanimously wants, like Ohtani. I would love to see him as a Ranger. Our bullpen is great. Our bats are great, and you add that into the mix. I gladly pay for an Ohtani, but
it's like unbeatable. Yeah, oh yeah. It doesn't matter what he requires. Like, you can build, like, you could have a whole team of rookies around someone like that, and I think I think you'd be okay.
Yeah, because he might not be like a proven winner as far as
And
playoffs and things under his belt, but he is that good and he plays that
he's
hard.
never, yeah.
And we've never seen him like eat himself alive on the mound. We've never seen him like rattled. Even though, yeah, he's not playing Game 7 of the World Series, he's never rattled. He could throw 4 balls into the dirt in a row, and the next thing he'd follow it up with some crazy slider and somebody's out. He's so relaxed, and it's like he's just known how to do it for a long time. He's a generational player. He's like one of those players that people just die for.
Well,
so good for the game, because look how many teams want him right now. That's so good for the game to be able to like to rally around this one player, and then people are pretty much going to be happy wherever he goes. Like if he goes to the Yankees or Dodgers, I'm going to be kind of pissed, but it's still good for baseball. It just sucks.
I couldn't imagine him, Aaron Judge, and Giancarlo Stanton in the same lineup.
Bombs.
It's not fair.
Just bombs. And then you give him steroids when it's legal next year? Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, he's a big he'll freaking I don't know. He'll be the one hitting the 40 mile per hour pitches out into the road and killing people.
Out into the Bronx.
Because he hits them that far as it is.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. You want to talk about a guy? I was explaining him to my kid the other day, saying he rakes the ball. Like that's the only way I can describe his swing. Bryce Harper, Cody Bellinger, kind of have the same swings. I just call it a rake swing.
Yeah, and it's unbelievable how smooth it is.
How what?
I'll say it's crazy how relaxed his swing is, how smoothly he swings it. It's never like he's trying to kill the ball and the ball just flies.
Yeah, no, he just knows the timing. I know my power. I'm just gonna put the bat on the ball at the right time and send it. Yeah, he's going to change life somewhere, even if they don't need life-changing player. He's still going to do it. I'm excited to see where he goes.
Yeah,
I
just
think it's going to come down to the wire.
Everybody.
Yeah, everybody wants him.
I'm super pissed if he stays in LA.
Yeah, because you know his contract's going to be like a 10-year at least. He's getting something massive.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's
yeah.
40.
I'm making sure.
He's going to be he's a nice pick.
Yeah, he's got to be. Like Trout got like 13 years or some shit, didn't he? Something crazy. I'm sure it's going to be just something outrageous.
Something crazy like that, which makes it might be worth something waiting for. Obviously, I'd want Ohtani on the Giants like tomorrow, but if you can somehow get Ohtani in the offseason, like you're going to have to pay him either way to keep him. If whatever reason the Angels hold out for the trade deadline, they'll get to keep their top prospects, and then they can still build. And they still have the money to afford someone like Ohtani. I was going to say,
still have the cash.
And then they have their top prospects to...
Right. Yeah, you want to talk about ideal building position for your team. You do something like that, you're spending some money like on the right shit at the right time. They could easily be that team that they could take the division from the Dodgers. I'm not saying Ohtani's going to do it by himself, but you do that to a dugout, you bring in a guy like that you never thought you would have, like it's going to be he's going to do something. He's looking at his first World Series this year. He's looking at what team he can go help to a World Series. He's not looking for a new home, I don't think, necessarily. He's going to make it his home. I think he's looking for who can I win a World Series with right now is what I'd be doing. Because you win a World Series, you're looking at
absolutely.
You're looking at way more money down the road. You're looking at way more offers if you ever did want to leave. Because he's going to be consistent for years.
Yeah, because that clobbers, if he makes it to a World Series, say,
Mm-hmm.
He's going to pitch one, maybe two of those games. He's going to have 3+ home runs in the series. It's like I don't want to say guaranteed World Series MVP, but how do you not pick someone like that? That's an ace and a
Yeah, just a
freaking bat.
two-way threat, dude. Like most pitchers aren't a threat. As far as being up to bat, they're not a threat. Like if you're a pitcher and you can hit also, damn,
No,
that's scary. Because you're not. Usually, you go. I'm gonna pitch 3 fastballs past this dude. He's gonna swing it all 3 like a child, and then he goes back to the dugout. And now we're at the top of the lineup. Like you
yeah,
don't get that with Ohtani. Like I have to be super smart and pitch to this guy like he's the 3rd, 4th, 5th batter. It's a whole new game plan. It rattles a lot of shit, especially when he's striking you out on the other side of this.
yeah. It's just hard to fathom like having a player like that. And I don't get how the Angels had him and Mike Trout. Granted, Mike Trout can't stay healthy, but how do you have both of those caliber players on the same team and don't win shit? Like, don't even make the playoffs.
Yeah. I think it's the culture of the Angels. I think that's just how they are. I don't know if that's how they've always been, but it's how I've watched the Angels for a while now, is that they're kind of, they just roll with the punches. They end up with some great players sometimes, but it's kind of like, let's keep them here to sell tickets. It's not necessarily to win games. It's like, we have the dude. Like, you don't have Mike Trout. He could be winning somewhere else. He could have a couple World Series, I'm sure. But he thought they were going to build a team around him, or I don't know what he thought. It wouldn't have been my choice to sign 13 years with a team that was okay with mediocre. And they're definitely okay with mediocre if they're looking at getting rid of him. Like, what were they hoping to do? Let's hopefully win a World Series with Mike Trout and Shohei while we have them. And after we have to pay him again, we'll keep Mike Trout and we'll let him go. We'll eventually let Mike Trout go. They're not building to win, I don't think. I think
The greatest base, but I can't sit here and say that he's one of the best players because he just hasn't been it.
Yeah, no, I mean, what is he like? We like to talk about what people have done in playoff history for like best players ever, and you can't think of anything. Nothing's been done. He's never been allowed to try his hand. I think he's played a couple playoffs. I'm gonna say under 250.
Yeah, you could say under
Jesus.
100.
Dang.
You'd be correct. It's 0.812 in his postseason, 1 for 12, and his one hit was a home run, a solo home run.
Jeez. Yeah, that's unbelievably low. That's way lower than I thought it would have been. Because 250, even, I think I'm kind of shitting on Mike Trout a little bit for playoff ball. Like, he should be well up there.
Yeah, 1/4. Yeah, especially the cow is that's supposed to be carrying a team. You'd think his one postseason appearance, he would do a little bit better. Like if he stayed over 300 in those 3 games, I bet they win.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know. Mike Trout, I think, is going to die an Angel. He's going to retire an Angel, and it's going to be kind of sad to see somebody so good that could have probably done a lot just traveling around from team to team. I don't know. I don't know if he wanted the big contract or if he was just offered the big contract and you just don't turn that amount of money down, which I would understand that. But if I'm...
Why? 426.5 million.
As a baseball player, I can't assume, even if I'm really good and like Mike Trout level, I can't assume I'm going to be consistent every single year. Like, I have to like jump at the chance to move, even though, like, I get it, players don't like to move and some of them have loyalty and stuff, but baseball players, I feel like, need to be open to that because some teams just can't afford you, but they want to keep you. Like NFL teams, I feel like, get rid of people they couldn't afford in the first place. It almost doesn't even matter. But for baseball, I feel like smarter decisions are made with players as far as the depth chart goes, because they're willing to lose people, but they don't really want to lose that guy. So a lot of players, like you hear all these players all the time in major leagues that travel around everywhere that are still really good, and they're just going to different places. When, like, look at Jock Peterson. Since, like, if he went to a World Series with the Giants, he's gone 3 of the like, if he went this year with the Giants, that'd be 3 World Series in the last 4 years, 5 years, or something like that. Who wouldn't? I would want that. I'd be trying to play in the most World Series I could if I knew I was good enough to do it. But some players want that.
And I'd take a pay.
That big.
They need to take the money. They need to take money out of professional sports.
Give it to the combat veterans.
I thought you were going to say the homeless is.
Same thing.
Thank you, Spirit.
I laugh because I would cry otherwise. So that's probably good. I'm good to close it out on that.
We don't care.
What'd you say?
For sure. Oh, I said we don't care about those guys.
Only,
we're Americans.
Yeah. 9/11, Memorial Day, and Veterans Day, and then other than that, fuck those guys. That's a great way to sign it off. Everybody's like, oh, these guys hate veterans. We're too dry. Our humor is too dry for YouTube. People think we're too serious all the time, probably.
George W. Bush had a chain on it. It said George W. Bush, his name, if he was a rapper, would be 2 planes.
2 planes? Oh. 2 planes. 3 planes, actually. Well, 2 planes, 1 rocket. He'd be.
Yeah, right.